Hey guys, happy New Year. Let's make sure we got a couple different feeds going on here. Mike, you can confirm we're live on both. I'm right here in the comments, so you can tell we're live. First of all, happy New Year. For you to be with me today, believe me, I'm not gonna take this lightly. Look at these, I got about 18 pages of notes. I went through a process yesterday. I left my family, left my kiddos for a little while, went and hid for like 3 hours and really dialed this in, because here's the thing. If you want 2018 to be better than 2017, there's some things we have to do today to set the foundation. I'm going to make sure, is this working on both feeds, Mike? Okay, because it's not coming up on mine. So maybe you could check with Jeremy and Tanner because they're watching for remote locations. Okay, so a couple of things. As you can tell, this is live. This is as real as it's going to be. This isn't some, like a perfect presentation. This is us together on New Year's Day, and I'm going to show you a strategy to set goals in a way you've never experienced. I'm going to tell you what I've discovered over the last year, what I think are the 5 biggest breakthroughs I discovered from things that went wrong. I'm going to show you how to take advantage of a new economy and where we're going in 2018. That's all today, right now. And here's the cool part. I hope you're watching us live right now on New Year's Day 2018. But it doesn't matter when you are watching this. If you're a part of my inner circle, if you're a member of the inner circle, I do a training every single month. This 3-hour training, this strategy session, when we're done, will be taken and put it into your back office. And here's what I suggest. Watch it every quarter. Watch it every month. This is about setting the next 12 months up to be the best 12 months of your life. This is setting a foundation for success. Oh, cool. So we're good. This is about setting a foundation for success. So I hope you're here with me on New Year's Day. Listen, if you're a little hungover, I'm sorry. Sip some tea, get some coffee, drink lots of water, take a Tylenol, whatever you got to do. But you're here. That shows me you're a player. And there's a million other things you could be doing. Believe me, I don't take this for granted that there's thousands of people with us right now, all looking for a bigger, better future, all looking for this year to be better than last year. And some of you had a rough 2017. Heck, 2017 was a rough year for me in some areas that I had to learn and grow from. That's some of the things I'm going to go over. So I'm kind of just rambling a little bit here and talking because I see people are pouring in right now. People just, probably doing a million things or just waking up and getting here. But today, I want to share not why goals are important. We all know goals are important, right? But setting goals is 1,000 times more important. If you just write down, I want to lose weight, feel better, make more money. Okay, I'm good. By February 1st, you kind of forgot that and you're back in a routine. This is about really crushing it and making 2018 epic. And it might take a little work. So what I'd love for you to do is today, I would get a journal, I would get a pad. I know some of you might want to be typing it, that's fine too. But I would literally rob this process from me today and go as deep as you can while we're together. But this week, next couple of weeks, go through the entire process in depth and let this be your 2018 blueprint. This 1 hour, 2 hour max exercise, maybe 3-hour exercise, could be the map, could be the instructions, could be the path to the gold to your next level of life, and you're worth it. Again, if 2017 wasn't all you hoped it would be, well, we can't do anything about 2017, but we surely can change 2018. I see all your comments coming in right here. I appreciate it. I'm going to try not to get distracted and look over too much. And remember, for all my Inner Circle members, we're going to be on here for 3 hours today. I know you might have other things going on, but you're not going to want to miss a bit. Now, of course, it's going to go in your back office. So you can watch it any time of year, and you should watch it all the time. But it's nice to be here live. I'm going to do Q&A. For those of you who are joining us in the Hour of Power, or the Power Hour in the beginning as our guests, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you here, kind of get a glimpse of what my Inner Circle members get on a monthly basis working with us live. So it's good to have everybody here. Okay, so a couple things. And I have notes today. This is the first time I am training this. And not only am I training it, I did the exercise yesterday, my own exercise, 15 pages worth in here. I'm going to give you some examples there. A couple of things I want you to think about first. What's your definition of success? I want you to just think about that in the back of your head. We're going to go deeper on that in a little bit. But what is your definition of success? Everybody's got it. Some of us think it's just the money, right? But when you dig a little deeper, why is it the money? Is it freedom? Is it control? Is it taking care of your family, get in better shape, have a better relationship with your wife, your husband, spend more time with your children. What's the definition of success to you? It's meant a million different things to me throughout the years. I remember being broke as a kid, and all my parents worried about was money, and we fought about money, stressed about money, evicted from trailer parks, and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought, once I have money, there'll be no more problems, right? And then I realized when I got money out of the way, there was a lot of other issues I had to deal with people in my life. And then when I dealt with the people, then there was a lot of issues deep inside of me, some shit that went sideways when I was young, and different marriages and relationships with my dad and mom and all that kind of stuff. I had to deal with that. But money getting out of the way allowed me to dig into that. And now at this phase of my life, success means something different. Once again, success to me means having the ability to be at every baseball practice and coach, be at every softball practice and coach my daughter's team, to be at every dance recital, to take off when they have off school, to make them breakfast every day, to just be the dad that I always wished I could be. That's success to me right now. My daughter just turned 11, a couple of years. Dad's not going to be so cool. I'm getting less cool right now. Anybody remembers that 11, 12, 13-year-old phase? I'm getting less cool much faster than I thought it would be. That's something that's in one of my goals too, is try to circle that back around. But in 2 years from now, the definition of success might be different for me. So what is the definition of success for you? We'll go deeper on that, but think about that today as we go through this exercise, because it's never just about what you think. It's always deeper. It's always another level of that, allowing us to be the best version of ourselves. That's why we're here. We're here today. I'm here on New Year's Day. Again, you could be watching this any time of year, and it's just as good. But if you're with me on New Year's Day, there's a lot of other things you could be doing. You could be, sipping margaritas someplace right now. Maybe you're going to do that later. That's awesome. Or maybe you did too much of it last night. But you're here right now. And what I believe is we just want to gain the tools, gain the capabilities to be the best version of ourselves. And that's how I'm going to do my best to try to help you with that today. Also, I want a theme today. We're going to have a little theme, okay? And we're going to get to this training here in just a moment. We got a lot of people on now. Hey, everybody. I see all your comments coming in. Appreciate it. A good friend of mine named Richard Rossi. He's a dear friend. I love him. He's a little bit older than me and super successful, and started with nothing and just did great stuff. Sold his company, started another one's crushing it again. And I love his wisdom and I love his advice. And one thing, he sent me an email talking about him and I talk to all my friends about next level and what's next and setting goals. And he said, what he's looking at now is like he wants to look back when he's 85, 90 years old, and he's getting towards the end of his life. And he wants to be able to say, how great would it be if you looked in the mirror and said, played well, meaning your whole life. Like, yeah, we can't turn back the clock on regrets that we have, mistakes that we made. We all have them. I have a pile of them myself. We can't go back and undo the bad things. We can't go back and fix the relationship if it's gone forever. We can't go back and be a better partner in business or pick a better partner in business. Or we can't go back and quit that job that robbed 10 years of our lives. We can't. We're going to talk about that today. But what we can do is say, that's over. This is where I am today. And I want to look back and mark this day down, 2018, or whatever it is that you're watching this, whatever date it is you're watching this, and say, from that point until this end of my time, I want to be able to look and say, I made a decision that day. And since that day, I played well. I don't know what played well means for you, but that's the kind of things we're going to dig into today. It's easy to set 5-minute goals. It's easy to say, I want the bigger check. It's easier to say, I want to lose the 10 pounds. But how do we craft a life? And remember that Bill Gates says this often, and so does Tony Robbins. And I don't know if it's either one of their quotes or it's Jim Rohn's quote, but we all overestimate what we can do in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in 5. And as long as 5 years may seem, how quick has the last 5 years gone for you? I don't know about you, but for me, it's been like that. How long has the last 20 years gone by? Boom. So why not start now? We're going to have to start eventually, so why not just make it today? Why not just decide whenever it is you're watching this, today is the day. From this date forward, when you look back at the end of the life, at your end of life, you could say, that's the day I decided. That's the day I decided to tap into my full potential, to follow my heart, to follow the love I want, the passion I want, the relationships, the income, the business. I made a point, and I can't take back what I did in the past. That was all research and development. From that point, I played this well. Okay, so that's my little rant just to get everybody warmed up. And now we got everybody on, and people will be joining us. Hope you could stay as long as you can. Okay, before we get to this, I wanted to share, because every time I go and I get the opportunity to meet my students, or I speak at an event, or I'm at Tony Robbins' event, and any Tony students are here, welcome, welcome, welcome. People always ask me, you know, what lessons have you learned this year? What have you failed at? What is the secret to success? And the secret to success is really all the little pieces added up. I don't feel, even at this phase of my life, there's not one big magic button that I have hidden and other successful people have hidden and we don't want to share it. It's a accumulation of all these little habits and all these little changes that add up to the big change. So I wanted to go over 5 things I learned in 2017. There's a little bonus before I get to our training today. And I thought this was good because 2017 for me, again, we're here today. It's very intimate. There's only a couple people in the office. Hopefully everybody's home enjoying, except the 2 poor guys that I had to rob here to help me today. But it doesn't matter where you are in life. Things still pop up. Things still go sideways. Things still go wrong. Tragedies still happen. You still get a no. You still get the answer that you're not looking for, or the deal doesn't happen, or the business doesn't start, or the stock crashes. Whatever it is, it still happens. And in 2017, I got a lot of lessons, more than I had in probably the 10 years prior. Some things that hit me pretty hard that I wasn't expecting, and things that I thought I'd already fixed, and they didn't. And when things go wrong, we can either retreat, we can either tuck them down, we can hide, we can get depressed, we can get anxiety, we can get scared, we can get fearful, we can run the other way, some of which I've done all of those, so not saying I'm perfect, or we can learn through that to realize the best version of ourselves lives on the other side of those obstacles. So I want to go over the 5 biggest things I learned in 2017, and this will prime us for exactly what the exercise is that you're going to do. So 5 things I've learned. Number 1, I believe at this phase of my life, could change next year, our biggest limitations aren't the economy, not our president, not our boss, not our husband, not our wife, not the naysayer in our life. Our biggest limitations are the thoughts and fears we have. I know that might sound really simple. You're like, wow, Dean, that was really deep. No, for me, it took me a while to make something long into something short. And to me, that is deep, because my next level of happiness, my next level of business, my next level of being a dad, my next level of being a leader, a friend, a mentor to you guys, is my biggest limitations are the thoughts and the fears that we have. And you might be saying, well, Dean, you understand my limitations is I have no money. Some of the things I experienced this year with literally millions of dollars in my bank and my life and worth, whatever. I'm doing well, right? Some of the biggest fears I had this year and thoughts were much harder than when I was broke to make my first million. True story. So this is the stuff you get through time, right? You get education, then you get knowledge, then you get wisdom. Wisdom comes after the experience happens, after the good, the bad, and you figure out a path, and your subconscious gets wired to your conscious, and all of a sudden, it's a gut feeling. That gut feeling is wisdom, because in some cases, you got your ass kicked, and you figured your way through, and all of a sudden, it anchored in. We're okay there. It was upsetting. We figured it out. We fixed it, and now we're better. So, number 1, the biggest thing I've learned is our biggest limitations are the thoughts and fears we have. And I just made a little note. Observe those and flip them. Because a thought or a fear left unnoticed, forget about it, don't even know it, will fester and grow. And that fear can grow into anxiety, and you don't know why. That can lead to neck pain, back pain. It can lead to achy joints. It could lead to diabetes. It could lead to sadness, or not feeling fulfilled, or feeling lost, because we got this fear, and it's like, I'm just going to leave it there, but it's stopping you from tapping into your full potential. So what I believe is find those fears this year in 2018. For me, what I want to do is be more observant of my fears and my thoughts than I ever have in my entire life. And when I find one that's not serving me, that's not taking me to another level, is I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip it, even if I got to say it 200 times until the fearful or the thought that I don't like is flipped into something positive and empowering. You guys with me here? Give me a little comment. Let me know you're here. Okay, number 2. In today's world, these are the 5 things I learned in 2017 I think are the biggest ones. It's easy in today's world to forget to go deep. We live in a shallow world. Success takes work and practice in all areas. Okay, this one I'll go over quick. Because of social media, because of email, because our phones sit right next to us and our bed and all the things that we do, and we get social media and we get our Instagram and we see if anybody liked our pictures on Facebook, and we check our text messages and we check our emails and then we check our bank accounts and we check all those things. We're going through a Facebook feed, right? Go through a Facebook feed and you're going really fast. You're looking for something. And believe me, I know I'm getting crazy with my marketing to get people to stop. Some of my marketing people get mad. I light a book on fire, or I'm driving in a car, or I'm in the cryosauna. It's because people's so shallow that they're going through their feed like this. And if I don't have someone to stop them, they won't. Now, that's something different. But what I'm talking about is that is rubbing off on our lives. If you have children that are younger, if you have grandchildren that are younger, what used to be considered ADD is now normal. It's like, your kids need to be doing something every second of the day. They don't know how, because there's all of electronics, all this communication, everything's stuck together. We live in a world where everybody's going shallow. If you want to be a great baseball player, but you practice once a month, but then you want to make lots of money too, and you dabble in a couple things here, and you want your relationship to work, but you do one date night a year, if you dabble, if you go shallow in all these things, like I'm going to play baseball once a month, I'm going to go on a date once a month for an hour, I'm going to see my friend once a month for a half hour, I'm going to do this for a half hour. Like, our lives are getting like our Facebook feeds. Shallow, 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 shallow. And you wonder why you're so digressed, you're all over the place, and nothing's really working, because the definition of success is going deep on something. My daughter is a great pitcher for her age, but she's not going to stay that way if she doesn't keep practicing the way she does. And all I tell her is, you win games, and you get the glory of winning and holding the winning ball. You win games when no one is watching. It's the practice you do. It's the depth you go. It's the pitching coach that you have, that you're out there when it's 110 degrees pitching when all your friends are swimming in the pool. If you don't want to be the best pitcher in the league or make an impact and win, then don't do it. That's okay, but that's just going shallow. And just think about it. What in your life has worked that you've gone shallow on or not committed to? Is the relationship work, a diet work, the gym work? No. So what I want to share is try to find a swimming lane or two this year and go deep on something. If you're a real estate investor, go deep. Want to make money online? Go deep. Want to start your own business? Figure it out and go deep. Understand the marketing. Go deep on it. You have such an unfair advantage to most of the world. I'm afraid there's a whole generation coming up that doesn't know how to go deep on something. Malcolm Gladwell said that the 10,000 hour rule, right? Like, you don't master something without 10,000 hours. Who puts 10,000 hours in anything anymore? Okay, that was number 2. Number 3. This one, I hope I expressed this one good enough. It's that we can only cover things up for so long. Eventually they pop out. Best to dig in now and not ignore it. Deal with it. Okay, what do I mean by that? So I'm going to share completely transparent that I covered a lot of things that bugged me. I love my parents. They did the absolute best job. This isn't about poor me, my parents. No, my life, God, I believe God designed my life. Things happen, as Tony Robbins said, things happen for me, not to me. All of that. Those parents were chosen for me. That path was chosen for me. And I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have my kids if one thing changed in my past. I wouldn't be here with you right now. Wouldn't have my amazing children. It all happened the way it's supposed to. Did some shit really suck? Yeah. But there's some things that were pretty sideways. I'll leave it at that when I was a kid. My parents were married 9 times. I moved all over, stepbrothers, stepsisters, step-parents, step-grandparents, and a lot of craziness, a lot of things you could use your imagination. Some things didn't go the way a young boy should experience some things in life. That's as deep as I'll go. Long story short, I didn't realize I tucked some of that stuff down. But guess what it did? It made me so freaking motivated. I remember saying, I'm not letting anybody run my life. These people are crazy. I want to be in control of my life. I want my own money. I'll retire my parents so I don't have to worry about them. I'll retire my grandmother. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want anybody to tell me how to live. I don't want anybody to tell me how to dress, or how, if I don't read good, I don't want anybody making fun of me. I don't want to live in someone's house where I feel uncomfortable. I don't want any of that. And that was my driving force to do my first deal before I was 20, to be a millionaire in my mid-20s, starting living in a trailer park and living in a bathroom with my dad when I was a kid. They were my driving force. But there was a lot of things that I just tucked down. I didn't, and not that you need you don't need to dig up every emotion. I'm not trying to be a psychotherapist here, because I'm surely not. But here's what I know. I tucked a lot of stuff down that bugged me, and all of a sudden, I'm gonna be 50 this year. Wow, I can't believe that. How did that happen? I'm gonna be 50 this year, and some of it popped out last year, just out of nowhere, because I ignored it for so long, and I started getting more conscious. I started sharing and doing different things, and all of a sudden, it came out. And it came out in the form of anxiety, claustrophobia. I wasn't cared about smoke. Well, I don't want to even go in an elevator. I'm fine now, but for a while, I didn't want to go in an elevator. I'm like, what is going on? I live this magnificent life. I've conquered every fear. I've written the best books. I have everything. No, there was some things that I'd been hiding. And you know what I tried to do? I tried to push them back into the bottle. I tried to say, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I am good. I love my business. I love my life. I love my kids. I'm in a perfect space. I am not dealing with this. And try to push it back in. Guess what? The lid came off. I couldn't put it back in the bottle. And all I know is I tried to ignore it. I tried to cover it up. I tried to work harder. I tried to coach more. It was something I had to deal with. So I share that with you. That's as personal. I mean, this is as personal as I get. Especially this is like my DG family, especially my inner circle where you're with me every single month live. You know I speak from the heart. I speak through my experience. I wouldn't share anything that I didn't already go through and come out on the other side. And so you can learn, so you can just shorten the curve. You can do it on your own, or you just learn from my stuff. So love having you as part of the DG family every month, and I feel close to you. We got some extra people watching too, but I wanted to ask you, I'd like to encourage you to soul search a little and find out if you have maybe a little bit of an addiction to something, or you have bouts of depression or sadness, or you get some anxiety, you get worry. Things bug you in a weird way, or you get mad all of a sudden when people do certain things, or you get offended easily. I'd love for you to just think about it in 2018, or you found a way to have a different persona. I wonder if you could spend the time to say, is any of those masking something I don't want to deal with, or I don't even know I want to deal with it? Are any of those masking the insecurities I had, the things that went wrong, things my parents did? I'm not blaming your parents, but all I know is now that I've gone through this experience, I wish I dug it up, excavated for it a long time ago, and still been just as strong, still been a working machine, still know how to hustle, still know how to move mountains, but not do it kind of running away from something, doing it because that's what I want. I hope I'm explaining it right. So what I'd share is, know that, and I'm going to say this a bunch, your next level of who you are, not just your income, that follows. The next level of who you are, being the best version of you, sometimes, many times, lives on the other side of that toughest thing, the other side of that obstacle. And we'll go deeper on that later. So with this, I just want to say, if you've had something fuel you like it did for me, it served me so well, great. But if you can find it and you can let go of it, if you can let go of it, I know it's easier said than done. Let go of someone who abused you. Let go of a family member who did the wrong thing. Let go of a spouse or a sibling or somebody who did something wrong to you. Let go of the hardship that you had. You know, you might be saying, Dean, you have no idea what I experienced, and I don't. But all I know is if it's in there, it's like a burning pocket. And it's going to cause sickness, it's going to cause sadness, it's going to cause anxiety, it's going to cause depression. And if we can get it out, throw it out. Try to let it go. I learned that lesson in 2017, and it will stick with me for life. I'm not perfect, but I surely have a different outlook Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the comments. I see them coming in here. Liberia, you liking this, bud? You liking this? Irene, good to have you here. Rob, Robin, Isabel, Powerhouse, what's up? Scott, Bill, good to see all you guys. Okay, number 4. Our biggest breakthroughs, that was my next one, and so I don't have to go through on this. Our biggest breakthroughs live on the other side of our biggest challenges and obstacles. I realized that. I've been saying it for years, always knew it was true, always had them, but this past year, I realized there was no avoiding some of the biggest obstacles I had. My next level of business, I had to face some things I had to plow through, and my business, 2018 should be the best year of my life, and several of my businesses, even new ones that I started. Relationships, family, friends, man, same thing. My next level lived on the other side of the thing I was avoiding, lived on the other side of that obstacle. I was like, no, I got here. I'm badass. I don't need to go over there. Why mess with that when I have this? No, if you want to keep evolving, the old saying, if you're not climbing, you're sliding, you have to face it head on and go, you know what? I'm a boss. I can deal with this. It's going to be a little painful. Remember, the pain or the worry or what you have to do to get through that obstacle is just a chapter of your life. This is a whole book. Your life is a book this thick. The pain you might have to experience, the worry you might feel, the facing your fears is a little teeny tiny chapter. But you could spend years slowly pulling the Band-Aid off, or you could rip it off. And believe me, I'm talking from experience. I know the difference of the two. Okay, the last one. I realize this more than ever, and I'm going to make sure it's one of my goals for 2018. Happiness lives inside of us, and we need to remember how to release it more often. They were the 5 things that I think I learned the most in 2017. Happiness is something in here. I think we get to a certain age. I watch my kids. My kids are the happiest 2 kids I've ever seen. I watch them, they just laugh and have fun, and they just create happiness. And I'm like, how do we forget that? I think we evolved to this place where we think something on the outside world has to make us happy. That if the economy goes right, Bitcoin goes up if you bought it at the right time, or your spouse is nice to you, or your kids respect you, or your coworker says thank you, or your boss acknowledges you, or you go have a cocktail. Like, you need an outside thing to give you happiness. I'm sharing this with you from personal experience. I've been there, and I'm still there in a lot of cases. But what we have to realize is happiness doesn't live anywhere except inside of us, and we could turn it up or down anytime we want. Why not turn it on more? 2018, when you set goals, you have to do your money goals, relationship goals, love goals. What about your happiness goal? What about your smiles? What about your laughing goals? What about the things that just make you feel like a kid again? I think that's one of the greatest gifts of life. And I think people think when I make the money, if you read Millionaire Success Habits, you know I believe this to be true. When I make the money, I can find the happiness I want. What if you find the happiness first and money comes even faster, easier, and quicker? That's my belief, and I've seen it happen so many times. And when you get the money, you'll enjoy it so much more. Okay, those are my 5 things I learned in 2017. All right, you guys with me? You guys liking this so far? All right, let's get to... Okay, you ready for this? I'm going to start this, and we are going to, Tina, Philip, Priscilla, everybody here. Here's what we're going to do. Real quick, we're going to just have you. Now, here's what I'd like you to do. I would like you to take notes, get a journal, because this is something that's going to take you a little longer than what we can do today. At least the foundation. We get a lot done today. So let's go. So we're going to start off in a weird way. One more thing of what went wrong so we can learn from it, because here's what I want to share. What I shared on these 5 things. What I'm going to share now is because when I'm done, we are throwing all the crap from 2017 away. Garbage disposal. Throw it into the sun. Burn it. It serves us nothing. We are going to extract what we learned from it, just like these 5 things. We're going to extract what we learned, and I'm throwing the rest away. I'm not going to have another thought of it. It is gone. We cannot redo 2017. Even if it was a great year, next level. So here's what I want you to think about right now, and we'll go through this quick because I don't want to be like I was down and down. No, this is going to be an amazing day of setting goals that are anchored in. I could just sit here and get you all revved up and say, you're going to make $1 million bucks, you're going to start the business, you're going to be happy, love, you're going to lose the weight, yay! And then in February you come back and see me and say, I'm about back where I was. No, I don't want that. So stick with me through this process. They stick with me through the whole 3 hours. I know it's a long time, but this is your life. We can do this. Okay, so we're going to go in a weird way and kind of look back. Now, right now, grab your pen, grab your computer. Here's what we're going to do. I want you to look back at the things, real quick, that didn't go well for you in 2017. What did you fail at? What did you procrastinate on? What did you say you were going to do and you didn't? What did you say you were going to do in 2016? And then you said you were going to do it in 2017. You still didn't do it. It's okay here. I'm going to show you something that we're going to wipe this out. And next year is not going to be this way, if you're with me. So I want you to think about what did you start and not finish? You know, what did you try and it didn't work out, or you failed at, or what relationship didn't work? Write down right now, and you can go back and go deeper later. But right now, take a few moments and write down some things that didn't go your way. I did this exercise yesterday. It was the best way I've ever set goals in my entire life. And this is what I obsess on. It's something I took from 20 different teachers and my own internal stuff, and I created a process. So have some faith in me here today, and let's do this. What didn't work in 2018? For me, in work, I tried to do too much, and I wasn't drilling down deep enough. That's what I put. These are my goals right here. 16 pages worth in the same process we're going through. I said, yeah, work, I didn't drill down enough. In my health, I started slacking on cardio. I work out 6 days a week. That's what I do. I get up at 5 in the morning, right to the gym. I do my little morning routine. We'll talk about that later. I go to the gym. The last 6 months, I'm like every other day, like it's weight cardio. I'm like, I'm going to skip cardio day to day. And what I realized, skipping cardio, oh my God, that's a slippery slope. If you're someone who works out normally, you realize it was like I'm struggling to get back. So what I had to do, and I'll tell you how to flip those, I'm going to flip that. It's like, no, I love feeling the way I felt when cardio was in my life. I love being able to run around with my kids and they get tired before I do. I love, when I said the first one, I love drilling down on a project and cracking the code on something no one else can. So all we're going to do is we're going to label what went wrong. And hopefully you're writing that down. I was so busy, I didn't surround myself with a group of friends, my normal group of friends, as much as I should have. I let thoughts and fears seep into my life, which I haven't in years. That's some of the things in 2017 that didn't work. What about you? So write some of those down and just write this. Now, I just created this exercise, so I don't have slides. This is all in my books here, in my journals, so you need to do some writing and it'll stick. So now what I want you to think is, as you're writing down some of the things that went wrong, you're like, Dean, I thought here I was going to be pumped up today, and you're making me sad about what went wrong, what I didn't do. No, we're getting ready to flush those down the toilet. So I want you to think of each thing that didn't work. Again, I'm really talking about what didn't work here, right? So if each thing is its own bucket, so it's a bucket, and this is, I said I was going to lose 20 pounds. I said I was going to start the business. I said I was going to do my first real estate deal, or start that side business, or register the URL, whatever it is. You put it in front of you and say, let's just say it's, I wanted to lose 20 pounds. And you look at it and go, that didn't happen. Man, that's kind of shitty. No, what we're going to do now is extract. Did you ever see Harry Potter when I don't even know what's the Dumbledore for whatever my kids watch that, when he's like pulls his thoughts out of his head and he like drops them in a bucket? I want you to think the opposite way. This is the thing that didn't work. What can you look at and say, I didn't lose the 20 pounds, I didn't get in the best shape of my life, I said I was gonna, last 3 years, I still haven't. What can you learn from that? Maybe you didn't set a strong enough goal. Maybe you were just doing it for vanity when you should be doing it to inspire your children, or make your spouse look at you like wow, you're freaking hot, oh my God, or your friends, to be a good example for friends to eat better and get healthier, or your parents to eat better and get healthier. Maybe find a new way. What did you see a glimpse of hope? You know what? When I was going to that one gym, I liked it. Or I was going to yoga. Yoga fit me. Or I like playing basketball with my buddies. Or you know what? I like walking up the mountain with my friends. So what failed, I promise you, there's glimmers of success in there. There's a positive impact in that thing that didn't work. So like on Harry Potter, I want you to pull in and say, what did I learn from that failure? And then what? We are throwing the failure away. No more regrets. Regrets do nothing for you. They don't serve a bigger future. They don't help you to the next level. They don't. You can't learn from regret. Regret just tarnishes us and makes us feel depressed. So take what serves you out of that and throw the rest away. So start thinking through this process of I've written down what didn't work, what I didn't start, what I didn't finish, what went wrong. How can I extract what glimmers of positiveness, if that's a good way, I don't even know if that's the right terminology or actual language, but you pull out the good parts, and then I want you to pretend you got a garbage pail that's on fire. It's an inferno. And you just open it up like it's cooking metal, and you just take each one of these failures and drop it in the fire. Then go on to the next one. I didn't do my first real estate deal, but I'm just using that example because I'm a real estate investor, right? I tried, but what did I learn? Well, I learned if I actually put out bandit signs, if I actually put Craigslist ads, if I actually talk to people, if I actually use Facebook, if I actually do, go on Zillow, whatever, when I did that, that actually worked. Okay, so Zillow worked, and this worked, and my friends wanted to invest with me, so that worked. The rest of it didn't. I was kind of not, I was preoccupied, I didn't get productive. Okay, open up the inferno, the gas, the heat, and drop that in. It's gone. Forget the regrets. 2017 is over. Only take the parts that worked. And do that with each one of those. If you can do them now, great. And if time doesn't allow you, come back with each one of those things that didn't go right. Extract the 2 or 3 things that worked, and then open up the fiery pit and burn it to the ground. Your past is your research and development. It is not your anchor. Your past can be the wind behind your sail. So now, we're only taking out the things that were positive with that. We learned. We know what not to do. Edison didn't fail 1,000 times in making a light bulb. He figured out how to not make a light bulb 999 times until he finally got it right. So I'm sure every time a light bulb failed, he figured out which part worked, threw the rest of the way. Which part worked, threw the rest of the way. It took him 1,000 tries, but we got lights all around us because of that crazy guy, right? So this is our lives. So pull that. So then the next thing, after you pull from what didn't work and pull, now really compound that. Now we want to get the courage. We want to get the confidence. We want to get the strength to plow into 2018 strong. So how do we do that? Now, as the third piece, we call it a positive focus, right? We talked about what didn't work, and then we extracted those small pieces out that did, and we got them kind of sitting on the side, right? They feel a little better. We burn the rest of that crap. Now I want you to think about what did work in a big way. Like what, man, without even realizing, because we never, ever, ever give ourselves credit. I assure you I'm 1,000% right. When is the last time you celebrated? When is the last time you went home after killing it in a day and accomplishing great stuff, or being there for your kids' play when no one knew you could, or taking a red eye so you could make it home with your family, or traveling across the country or across the world to be with family during the holidays even though you thought you couldn't, didn't have the money? When's the last time you said, damn it, you did it? When's the last time you thought, hey, when I was a kid, I was going to hope to make 40 grand a year, and now I'm making 80? When's the last time you said, I hope that someday I'll get married, but now you're married and have children? When's the last time you said, I hope I could spend time with my family, and now you see them every weekend? We all forget about the wins. We all forget about the good, the things that you've accomplished, the stuff you've learned, the knowledge you have, the wisdom you have. What about having a friend that's going through a hard time, or going through a loss of a marriage, or loss of a job, and you're the one there supporting them and making them feel better about themselves? You've done so many great things that you do not give yourself credit for. Right now, give yourself credit for the things you accomplished in 2017. Now, you can't remember all of them now. I'm going to give you a lot of what I believe is the greatest way to set goals I've ever come up with. I'm going over all that today. I want 2018 to be your year. Mine too. So I want you to think about some of them. And now, you can make a note, write it down any way you want. These are my notes. I just did. I buy an old school pad, that binder that I keep for all my notes, I have a journal for work, and these are for my goals, right? But what can you write down now? Because here's what I want to do, and this is the part that I think is really important for you to think about, is we are trying to build momentum. Momentum builds what? More momentum. And more momentum builds success. Momentum overcomes obstacles. Momentum keeps going. If water is coming really strong and you put something up, it'll knock it over. Water. Same way in your life. If you don't have momentum, if you're looking backwards going, I didn't do that good last year, I missed out on a lot of goals, but I'm going to try it this year, and you hit one obstacle, done. You'll be here next year saying, I missed another year. No, the hell with that. We're not missing another year. So what we're doing right now is we're carrying momentum, good momentum, because we burned all the crap that didn't work, right? So now, writing down, and of course, I'm talking about this over and over because I'm hoping you're writing. I'm hoping you're thinking about what you accomplished, because I know this for a fact. So many of you will be like, I didn't really accomplish that much last year. Last year was the worst year I've had in a long time. I didn't get a lot done. BS. You accomplished so much more than you're willing to share. Dig deep. You are cool. You accomplished. You're successful. You've done it. Maybe in some areas, not so much. Some areas, you killed it. Write those down. Now, as you write those down, I want you to, and if you go back, that's totally great. Let's go back and do this at another time, later today even. I want you to go back, and thank you for putting all the comments. I'm trying not to get distracted over here, but I appreciate you guys. And I'll do some Q&A here in just a little bit. But I want you to start letting your body, and if you can't do it right now, but I want you to read the good that came from the bad, and I want you to read anything you wrote down that you accomplished, even the little things. A smile on your kid's face because you were there after school. Your parents being excited. Your kids being excited. Something you did at work that nobody even knew, but you know you did. Holding a door for somebody when nobody was watching. You're having a bad day, but you're still happy and still took care of other people. You gave more to your church than anybody realizes. When the hurricanes came and the floods came, you gave money you didn't even tell anybody. I don't know what it is, but write those down, and I want you to start reading the things that you accomplished. Read your successes. Read what you've learned out of 2017, and watch your physiology. I got goosebumps thinking about it. Watch your physiology change. When is the last time you flooded your brain with positive emotions from things that you did? It's good to watch me or Tony Robbins or Brendan Burchard or Jim Rohn or anybody who gets you fired up, but you're kind of feeling their vibe. What about your vibe? You're a badass. You've done more than you think. What about flooding your emotions, flooding your thoughts with things that you did great? And let your physiology change. Let your soul feel it. Let yourself say, let your subconscious go, we're really good. We did more than we thought. We accomplished more. We're smarter. We're braver. We're stronger. We're faster. You need that. Your subconscious needs that. Your soul needs that. But none of us do it enough. So that's part of this process. That's why I always say, it doesn't matter when you're watching this. I hope you're with me on New Year's Day, but if you're not, any time of year, the next 12 months, use this right this very moment. Again, as an Inner Circle member, you get this. You even get last year's strategy session, our trainings every month, all the other bonuses. So use this. Go back to it, right? Back to it every single month or more because you have access all the time. Okay, so here's the next step. So we figured out what went wrong, we extracted what was right, we burned what didn't work, and now we're feeling what worked. And then we're looking at the things we did accomplish, the things that you forgot to give yourself credit for. You write those down, and all of a sudden, now you have some success on that feeling there, right? So now, then we went to the positive focus. Now here's the next thing I want you to do. This is one that I've been doing lately, and I think it's extremely important. And I want you to write down, okay, stick with me now. I want you to write down, and this is another one you'll probably have to revisit, but I want you to write down what the most common thoughts you think you had in 2017. What are the most common thoughts you had in 2017? Our thoughts are who we are. We are what we think. If you're having a stressful day, you're thinking stressful thoughts. There could be the same circumstance happen 100 different ways, and we have completely different emotions on how we interpret it, our thoughts. So I want you to think about what are some of the common thoughts you had through 2017, and I want to share some, and I want you to write these down right now. Did you have any thoughts of that I'm missing out? Do you have any thought that, man, I thought I'd be further along in my life with my health, with my income, with my business, with my love, with my parenting? Thought that I don't have enough and I won't have enough to retire, and it scares you. Silly things like I missed Bitcoin, I missed the stock market, I missed that opportunity. Did you have feelings of miss it, and did you think about those feelings? And have any of these things I'm saying are the ones you're thinking of, have they ever kept you up at night? Have you ever worried yourself sick over it, that saying's been around forever? Have you ever thought, I'm not smart enough, that I'm not rich enough, that I'm not thin enough, I'm not brave enough, I'm not outgoing enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not strong enough? How about a thought of, why not me? Or have you had any thoughts of someone else? It's someone else's fault. It's the president. It's my ex-husband, my ex-wife. It's my boss. It's my coworker. It's my family. It's my friends. Have you had any thoughts that ring in your mind that it's someone else's fault, some other situation's fault, that you are where you are, or you're stuck where you're stuck, or things aren't working out? Do you ever think, wow, this is pointless? If only I had, and you fill in the blank. Now, why am I sharing these? Because you also had some amazing thoughts. I can do this. I'm going to conquer it. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to fix this love. I'm going to be a better dad. I'm going for this. I'm going to run the marathon. I'm going to win the race. I'm going to coach this team. I'm going to start the new business. I'm closing on that house. I'm making the money. Yes, you've had both thoughts, but we are the byproduct of our thoughts. And the more we can observe those thoughts, the more we can manage those thoughts, the more we can understand those thoughts, the more we can put the right thoughts in our mind that drive us towards the next direction. When our thoughts tell us we can't, our subconscious protects us and says, we can't. We can't. Let's not do that. That's scary. We can't do that. Think about that. Think about the last time, and maybe you guys could tell me, and I'm going to do a little Q&A here in a minute, okay? So if you have any questions, let me know. Ask some questions. Jeremy, if you're watching, you can text them to me, or I'm going to look as well. I just don't want to get distracted, so we're going to do some Q&A here at the top of the hour. But I want to ask you, the last time you were stressed, the last time you stayed up late or woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep, the last time you had a knot in your stomach, be honest. Was it the thoughts in your head or the actual situation? And was it your interpretation of the situation or the thoughts that repetitively circled in your head? It's always the thoughts, because the circumstances always have a solution, always. We're going to talk more about that later, but they always have a solution. I know this because I've been there. So I want you to think about, in this instance, is writing down what thoughts did you have on a regular basis that did not serve you. Go ahead, write some down right now. Also, I would think about what is the number one thought that you might have that scares you or creates fear or has caused you to stop. And listen, I'm not talking to you like everybody here is depressed, broke, and sad. Wherever you're watching me, you're craving another level of life. You want to go to that next level. That's what I'm here to do, is to break this down. Doesn't matter where you are, your thoughts are the gateway from where you are to where you want to go. The thing that lives between here and where you want to be, that next level of love, life, success, happiness, and joy, is the story that you tell yourself why you should have it or why you shouldn't. The right thoughts will empower you. The right thoughts will be the gasoline for your jet engine. The wrong thoughts will be the anchor that you're dragging across the desert and you don't know why other people are going by you 100 miles an hour. When we have the ability to understand our thoughts, I'm not trying to make this, give you all this at once and you're going to be perfect tomorrow, but I want this to be the day that you start deciding that I am going to observe these thoughts. So right now, write down some of the thoughts you had in 2017, and I will assure you that most of them came true. If you thought this relationship will never work out, it probably didn't. If you think real estate won't work for me, it's too busy, too fast, you need more money in my area, it probably didn't. If you thought, the hell with this, if Dean can do it, I can do it, and I did it, and things are going good, that's what your thought was. If your relationship is better, that means you were thinking to make your relationship better. If you got in better shape in 2017, your thoughts were, I can get in better shape. Not, I don't have time, I'm big boned, I'm not healthy enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm embarrassed. Your thoughts are guiding you. Literally, I did a podcast recently, one of the biggest podcasts out there, and the guy at the end said, for some 20-somethings right now, if you gave the best advice in the world, and there was a lot of things I thought of, and I said, I wish someone would have taught me in my 20s that my life is only limited by my thoughts. watch your thoughts stronger and watch your life grow. That's one of the simple lessons of life that can take you to another level if you are aware of it. So, okay, so while we're here right now, let's go back to the theme that we were thinking about that I told you Richard Rossi taught me about, done well, right? If we want to move ahead and we want to be able to say at the end of our life, done well, played well, my friend, looking in the mirror, that is, I would take a moment right now and just take one or two of the thoughts that you say were most common. Now, if they're a positive thought, write that down and do more of that, because that thought empowered you. But if there's one you're afraid of, one that makes you scared, one that keeps you up at night, one that worries, one that you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not thin enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not rich enough, it's why not me, it's the president, it's the economy, it's this, that, and the other thing. If that's a thought that you've had continually, not every day, continually, that's caused you to be stalled, what I'd love for you to do right now is redefine it. How do you change the thought, right? Thoughts, do thoughts lie to us? Yeah, all the time. Thoughts, how many times have you worried about something like crazy? And like, worry, 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 I can't wait, I gotta talk to him, I gotta say, and you get there and you were completely misunderstood. It wasn't, but you spent 2 days stressing about something that wasn't a reality, or it was something completely different. Thoughts lie to us all the time. So right now, why don't you take just one of the thoughts and flip it? You know, I probably can't make more money because, you know, I need money to make money. Go online, figure out that Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, myself, so many successful people I know started with nothing, not a dime. I bet you they had better thoughts, right? So is that a lie? Yeah, so how do you switch it? I don't need money to make money. I need my unique ability, my brilliance, and my determination. That's something that that's a thought that changes everything. You know, you thought, I'm in this relationship, it's just horrible, it's gonna be horrible forever. If you think that way, yes. Or you could say, no, I'm going to seek out people with amazing relationships, and I'm going to find out how to fix this, because that's the thought. And start thinking about reigniting a passion, or finding someone new if the relationship you have is not working, or how to be a better parent. Flip those thoughts right now, and then we'll get to a couple questions here. Let's see. I never sleep well due to thoughts. Okay, so they're rolling in here. I'm blazing through my fears and going all in. Hey, it's great seeing it. I thought on both sides of the problem. Which problem? The solution? Accountable partner? Yes, Dawn, accountability partners are amazing. We're going to take a little break here at the top of the hour, but I want to do some, and when we come back, I'm going to take a little break. When we come back, I'm going to do an exercise that I do at Strategic Coach that will allow you to have the time to make these goals. We didn't even get to the goals yet, right? I hope you like this exercise leading up to it. We're cleaning out the cobwebs, getting ready for the goal setting that are gonna stick, right? I don't want to just have you set goals that are just on a piece of paper, then I do what everybody else did. These are about making them stick like glue, but when we come back, I'm gonna do an exercise that's gonna show you how to gain time in your life like you wouldn't believe, and not only time, but enthusiasm. Pretty cool. So let's see. We manifest what we need. I'm so fat and I don't have self-control to lose weight. Laura, first off, don't call yourself that. You might be a little overweight for your own standards, but let's just talk about that. You don't have self-control. Do you know self-control? Self-control is kind of BS. It's like telling somebody who's an addict to just stop, bare knuckle it, right? What I would say is, Laura, and we're going to go through this exercise later today. By the way, if you didn't see, Laura just said I'm overweight and I don't have the self-control. I'd throw that out. Okay, all right. This is a prime example. That is a shitty thought. That is a terrible story. If you tell yourself that, your subconscious doesn't know the difference. If you say, I am fat and I don't have self-control, do you know what your subconscious says? We're fat. We don't have self-control. Stop pretending. Eat. Don't exercise. This is who we are. We're never going to do this. This is fine. That's the story you have. That's the thought. That thought going into 2018, I promise you, we'll be here in 2019 with the same story. Now, it's easy to say switch the story, switch the thought. If you just say to yourself, you know, no, I don't need the self-control. I need determination, and I'm going to make this, and I'm going to find the way I want. But you need something deeper. So here's what I'd say. I'd say go upstream. You don't have lack of self-control just because of that. There's other things in your life that maybe are misaligned. And I'm not trying to project here. I've been blessed to meet thousands and thousands and thousands of my students, and And I know there's probably other things in your life that aren't going exactly the way you'd hope. And maybe that's your outlet. Okay, I get it. Forgive yourself. Who cares? That's the way you got here. You use that as a crutch to get here? Cool, but you're here today. So here's what I would think. What would be, we can psychoanalyze and go deeper. You know what I'm saying. There's another area of your life that you probably need to face. Remember, your biggest gains are on the other side of your biggest obstacle. I don't know what that other thing is in your life, Laura, but I'd face it. I'd figure out a way. I'd start thinking what it could be on the other side of that and face it head on. And a lot of this other stuff would be a lot easier. You won't need self-control. But if you're going to do that, on the weight side, here's what I'd consider. Go deeper on why the hell you want to finally get in shape and lose the weight. It's not just because you want to feel better, look better. Go deeper. If you have kids, do you want to do it for them? Do you want to look sexy again? Do you want to fit into clothes that you wore in college or right out of school? I don't know what it is, but go deeper and get out of here. Stop telling yourself terrible stories. Get those thoughts out of here. Get into your heart on why you really want it. Create a new thought process. Create a new thinking pattern. Create a new story. And that be your mantra going into this 2018. That be the new voice you hear in your head. Well, simultaneously, you and I both know there's something else you need to deal with. And I would use the strategies in here, use the strategies that we go over every single month in the inner circle, whatever capability. Somebody's been through what you're going through. Find someone who's done it right and get on that path to conquering that monster. I hope that helps. Let's see. Laura, I hope that helped. Let's see. It's easy to say you want to change it. Start. Do you have any suggestions? Okay, so Scott, what's up, man? How you doing? How to get started? Scott Silva says, you know, it's great to think about it, but sometimes it's hard to get started. Okay, complacency happens in all of our lives. We're told by the world, be happy. We should be satisfied with what we have. Don't strive for the moon. Don't be a dreamer. All these things we're told keeps us on the sidelines of life. So, but I'm going to give you a couple hacks to get started. Remember, there's a science behind getting started. There's also psychology behind getting started, but a lot of times it's just fear. So I'm going to, as quick as I can here, I want to give you a hack. I want to give you a little hack here. Let's pretend, Scott, it's a year from now, and you still haven't started. How will that feel in a year from now, knowing you let another year slip by? Let's fast forward. It's 5 years from now, Scott. We're here together. You're on our, we're doing this on New Year's Day, and you still let the last 5 years go by because you didn't start it. Think about that, how that feels. No, don't just think about that. Let that go into your physiology. Really feel. Look, if you're near a mirror, look in the mirror. Turn someplace right now where you can look in a mirror. If you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. And say, it's 5 years from now, and I still didn't start. I'm still in this job. I still didn't start that business. I'm still in this bad relationship. I still feel sad. I still stress about the money every month. How does that feel not right now, not just in a year from now? How does that feel in 5 years? And let your body feel it. Are you going to give the power to that thing stopping you, that story? It's nothing more than a thought you have. It's nothing more than a story you tell yourself. That's why thoughts are so important. The thing between you and your next level life, Scott, is nothing more than the story you tell yourself. Are you going to let that story keep you exactly where you are for the next year, 5, 10, 25, 30 years? You're going to go to your grave saying, not played well. Not played well at all, dude. I freaking sat on the sidelines. Listen, there's a million different ways. That's why I write books. That's why I do a training every single month. That's why, you know, my inner circle people have a membership to be a part of this community, part of the private Facebook group where everybody shares. Like, surround yourself with people who felt that way but broke through and tried. Change that story. Scott, you're here. You're not hung over someplace not watching. You're in this with this group of people right now. That means you're a player. You just need that little fire lighted. Lit. So there's a lot of different things I could teach you. There's 50 I could do to get started. I could talk about the science, the psychology. I just wanted to go where I think is the most impactful. Picture yourself, if you want to do it when we're done training today, picture yourself 5 years from now still saying the same freaking story. And that story will be ridiculous. You're not going to let that story, let that thought be the obstacle between you and your next level. Screw that. Take action today. Feel the pain and then finish writing your journal and your goals. and we'll make it happen. Guys, we're going to take a break here. It's the top of the hour. When we get back from this quick little break, I'm going to go grab some more kombucha, get a little water, take a bathroom break. You guys do the same. Do not leave us. We're just warmed up. We're not even close. The exercise I'm going to do next will blow your mind on how you can find time in our crazy busy world, how you can do things that light you up and stop doing the crap that brings you down, how you can find the ability to have battery chargers in your life, not battery drainers. That's what we're going to do next. I'm so excited you're here with me. We've got thousands of people with us here on New Year's Day, but whenever you're watching this, this is for the next 12 months. You have to make it the best 12 months of your life. And here's what I want to share. If you are part of us with the Hour of Power, and you don't leave us, we created something really special. Right now on the page, if you're on the Hour of Power page, the only people who are getting the next 2 hours are my Inner Circle members. And right now we have a special promotion where for a dollar trial, you get a whole 30 days access. You get all my past trainings. You get this strategy session, last year's strategy session, and the live monthly trainings where we work together. It's just like this. We have a different amazing topic every single month on how to go faster, quicker, and easier to your next level of life, income, how to start the business, how to do marketing, how to get the mindset. It's amazing. It's a incredible family. So my Inner Circle members, you just stay put. Don't go anywhere. If you're on the other page, I'm sorry, that page is going dark. This is the end. I wanted to give you guys an hour. I hope you got lots of value out, but we've just begun. So what you need to do right now is on the page, click the trial. You get a whole 30 days. If you love it, leave it. Become a member. All the details are on the page. If you don't, you just email us or call us and owe nothing more than $1 to not only get the next 2 hours, but you get immediate access to the entire back office. You won't even sleep for the next month trying to catch up. It's like episodes of your favorite show, except this one actually pays you back to watch in life and abundance and joy. Okay, we're going to take a little break. For everybody who's on the Hour of Power, thanks for being here with me. I hope you have an amazing, amazing 2018, but don't leave us. Be a part of my Inner Circle right now, and you can try it out for $1. I want you to see if it's value. If it's not, you spent $1 on worse things than that. Click the button. I'll see you in a minute. And everybody in my Inner Circle, probably 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to be back, and we're going to go into an exercise that's going to blow your mind. I'm so excited you're here. Talk to you in a minute.
So I was actually a corporate executive at one of the most premier companies in the world, a named brand, if you will. And for me, it was all about how do I take it to the next level? And it was always about pushing myself to that next level and getting to the next level. And I just needed something different. You know, being in corporate was awesome. It was